Last night I was up until 4 in the morning maybe. Finished off editing the podcast, uploaded and scheduled it for tomorrow morning, and I sent a copy to my co-host. We'll be posting it on SoundCloud and iTunes and Spotify and whatever else, Painting Insights podcast. Have a look on wherever you get your podcasts, or search it on Instagram or YouTube. I'll put a link in the description of this video. Anyway, I was up late today. I didn't do anything except watch Alien. Now, I love Alien. It's a great film. So many images to use as inspiration. But I'm going to draw one of those today. I don't know how detailed it's going to be. I haven't started it yet. But I'm going to do something which is going to be inspired by that film. Hopefully it's going to be good, because I love the film. It's been a long time since I've watched it all the way through, so that was fun. This blemish thing on my head is almost gone. You see that? The scab was coming off, and it came off, but there's a little red dot, so who knows, if I touch that, maybe it'll come back. Sorry, I just got a message through. Things like that always happen when you're recording. So that's what I'm going to do today. Initially, I was going to do a drawing on a piece of paper. Now, it's really thick paper. You tell? That's really thick. Don't know if you can see it. Very thick paper. This is what I was going to do this number 24 on. But instead, I'm going to go to the cardboard. If you're new to the channel, I draw a lot on cardboard, and especially on this cardboard here. I like the shape, I like the gaps in between. And this is what I'm going to use, because I just loosen up a lot easier with this cardboard than I do with a piece of paper, and I'll tell you why. I'm quite comfortable using Pigma Micron fine liners. These are good for sketching out things, especially with a 0.1, which is what this is. It's a really small nib, and it means that I can map out the proportions and the angles and things like that. And I'm getting quite comfortable with using this calligraphy pen as well. This is the brush version. Now, it's still not really a brush. That is a felt nib. See if you can see it there. That's a felt nib, not a brush. But it's good. I still enjoy using it. So these two are what I'm going to use today. But it's not going to be on paper. It's just too bright and clean and shiny. I mean, look at the difference between this and anything else on the screen. It's just too much. It's overpowering. So there's a time and a place. Whereas this stuff, it's just good. It works. It takes the pressure off. And something about it makes me relax, and that can make all the difference between a drawing where you flow and a drawing where you resist. And you can see that in the marks, and I don't want to resist in the marks, really. That doesn't help the drawing in any way. So that's my thought process behind using the cardboard anyway. That's the rationality. Now let's get to the drawing. This is the second day of me drawing from a film reference. I've been watching horror films. I say that this is the second time, as I just said. Yesterday I watched a film called Piggy, and today I watched Alien. Now, I've seen Alien before, I love it, and it was the director's cut. I really enjoyed it as always, and I took tons of screenshots of the film. I always really enjoy watching it, so I thought I'll take some screenshots and try to consider what I want to draw and what I really enjoy about the experience of Alien. And then afterwards, when I was looking through the screenshots, I thought, as much as I enjoy them, I don't want people looking and thinking, out of the whole film, you decided to draw something which could have been from several other films. There are really lots of interesting shots from Alien that I appreciate and I took as reference, but then I had to do something which I felt was an iconic image from such an important film. So I ended up picking one of Ellen Ripley, because obviously she is your main protagonist. And the scene at the end where she has the spacesuit on just before the final showdown between her and the xenomorph is one of those iconic cinematic moments that I thought would be worth being the shot to take. So that was the one that I ended up choosing. I was really impressed by the film as always. I love the dialogue in the film because I feel like it's so natural and loose, and the way that everyone talks over each other and interrupts each other, and it doesn't sound scripted or like there's any pauses in between one person talking and the other one. It sounds very much like a reactive response from the second person once the first person has said something, and the pressures seem genuine, and all of the things that I really wish that modern film, or film from any era, would manage to capture. Alien seems to do it pretty much the best in my view, really. And there's lots of films that I love for the dialogue, but Alien has this unique quality of a naturalistic pressure and tension between the crew members. It's something which I love about the film The Thing, is the pressure and the tension between the different people on that station in the where they're located. I don't think it is Norway, is it, where they're located? There was a Norwegian. Anyway, in The Thing, there's a crew in that as well, and they're all stationed in this kind of, it's like an ice station, I suppose. I don't really know what to call it. I'll need to read up on The Thing again and rewatch it. But the point being, they have this dynamic between them where you feel as though they've spent a long time together, they know each other, and then there is friction that's building up. And it's similar in Alien, but I think it's far more natural in Alien. And I do credit The Thing with the dynamic and acting between the different characters, I think is really compelling. And in Alien, it just seems as though it's beyond what I could even conceive of trying to concoct as a director or as an acting coach or anyone involved in the production. To try to pull that out of actors is really impressive. So I love it. As you can tell, I love it. And then taking stills from the film just made me hyper focus on the beauty of the design. The composition's always lovely as well. It's really nice to see where things sit in the frame and how much of a story it tells just based on still images, and then how much power there is behind the design work. So as I was just saying, the design of the film is something which is really, I mean, it's famous for the design being incredible, and H.R. Giger or Giger is credited, obviously rightly so, with the design of the alien. And I think a lot of the design work for the ship where the alien eggs were located is accredited with him as well, because a lot of his books had similar kind of ribs and this darkness. It was almost his palette as well as his design work and drawing that was injected into the film production of the set design. So incredible stuff. And I love the fact that the Nostromo itself, which is the ship which all the crew members are on, that has so many elements which look like it's part of the alien. So it gives lots of opportunity for the xenomorph to hide in crevices and, hang among the chains. And it just looks like part of the environment, which is a really nice thing to have in a film already worked out so that the audience can experience this this kind of paranoia and this second guessing of what is and isn't going to happen. Then there's the twist in the story with the character Ash. Now, if you haven't seen the film Alien, I won't spoil it, but there's a twist in the plot aside from the different things that happen with the aliens, and I love watching that. And then there's videos that I've watched which are film analysis videos about what happens. In fact, John Mahoney, a former guest on my podcast, the Good Values podcast, had recommended to me and sent me a link to I think it's called The Complete Guide to Alien, and I'd watched that and it was really interesting. Very good video, very long, that covers all of the psychology behind some of the actions and some of the twists in the film, which I completely endorse and I think is all the more kind of increases the drama and increases the value of the film for having this underpinning of meaning which you don't necessarily have to connect with or understand whilst watching and enjoying the film. So I loved it, and then doing this drawing was something which I just ran into on cardboard. Initially I thought this might be a sketch that goes awry, and if it doesn't look like Sigourney Weaver, then I will just get the piece of paper, spend longer on it and do it that way. But I kind of in the back of my head thought this is the way that I get drawings out of myself a lot easier. And I've made a big campaign on this channel before for drawing on cardboard, either before it goes in the bin or not putting it in the bin and spending less money on art materials, because drawing on cardboard is great fun and it's also a great surface as far as a mid-tone to draw on.